man will take you serious because he wants to, not because you're telling him to. You say you want a guy to pursue you, you want a man, you want this, you want that, but you haven't put any effort into your looks. A man looks with his eyes first and then his brain second. Men take what they want. They don't take no for an answer, okay? When you got the man that wants you, he will do whatever it takes to obtain you. Doesn't matter. Men are natural pursuers. I'm a firm believer that when a man comes into your life, he already knows how he wants to treat you and he already knows what standard he wants to hold you to. I don't believe in the whole ideology that, oh, a guy needs 3 months in order to know, or he needs this amount of time in order to know whether he really wants to pursue you. I understand that you definitely need to get to know someone, but a man knows his intentions with you from the get-go. A man knows from the get-go whether he wants to pursue you. Like, he knows, okay, I'm gonna physically and mentally and emotionally do what I can to pursue you and actually get you. Men are hunters by nature. They love the chase. They want to be able to pursue you, woo you. They want to be able to obtain you. It's all about the chase in the beginning. It's all about getting to know someone and obtaining them. And I always say to women, don't make it too easy. Like, let a guy work for you. And I'm going to get more into that as we go along in the video. And although I believe that you don't really have to say much when it comes to a man, I do believe there's certain information about yourself that he would obviously have to know. Like your favorite activities, your favorite hobbies, your favorite restaurants, flowers and stuff. These are things that he would obviously have to know and that he should also seek out as well. Because how are you really going to impress someone when you don't even know what they're interested in? Like, make it make sense, you know? And so I think if a man naturally hasn't asked you directly things that you're interested in or taken an interest in you, that's a red flag. And oftentimes that can get masked. You can be enjoying the time with a man and you're getting along like friends and stuff, but then you haven't noticed that he hasn't actually taken an interest in you. Like, he hasn't actually taken time to get to know you, because you can be around someone and enjoy each other's company without actually seeking out things about them, like without actually knowing them. And I've been in that situation where I've realized that, oh my gosh, I've been around this guy a lot and we're spending a lot of time together, but he doesn't actually take the time to find anything out about me. Like, you haven't asked me anything about me, you haven't taken the time to get to know me. You're talking all about yourself, big man. Everything we talk about, it kind of relates back to you. And I guess because you're kind of enjoying each other's company, you don't really realize the fact that, oh, he hasn't asked me anything. He doesn't even know anything about me. If anything, you know more about him than he knows about you. And I think that's the one thing that's a bit weird, because naturally a man should be pursuing you, taking the time to get to know you. It's mainly about you in the beginning as a woman. Like, let's be honest, I think we've come to this era of where women are trying to be equal to men and women are trying to play men's roles and men want women to play a man's role and all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not into that. I don't believe that. I am in my feminine era, I'm in my feminine energy, whatever the hell that means, okay? But I like gender roles. I like gender roles. I like a man to be a man and I like a woman to be a woman. And in my head, that means I like a man to pursue me and I like to be the very feminine woman, a very soft woman. I like to be in my feminine energy, and I believe from what I've been hearing and stuff, the feminine energy means that you can be soft, you can let your guard down, you can just allow a man to play his role, and that's what I like. Okay, all this stuff where a woman should chase a man and show a man that she's interested and be taking men out and all that stuff, it's like, okay, that's really giving me 21st century and I'm not in that. Like, that doesn't scream the biblical way to me, I'm not gonna lie. I like the biblical way. A man chases a woman, a man pursues a woman, a man shows a woman that he's interested and the woman responds and eventually reciprocates it, okay? But I think I digress a bit. And in the Bible, it shows a couple of ways as to how a man is meant to pursue a woman. In relation to Jacob and Rachel, I love the story so much because the moment Jacob saw Rachel and interacted with her, he knew instantly, I want that to be my wife. He saw in her what he wanted in a wife. He didn't need to get to know her for 10, 15 years, 5 years. He knew instantly, I want that woman. And it wasn't even a thing where he's trying to play underhand and get her in bed and all that stuff. No, he went about it the right way. That, listen, I will work for you. I will go about this the right way. I will do what I can to obtain you. It was a patience thing. It was a persistence thing. It was a pursuing thing. He was adamant that I want her. I don't want anyone else but her. I want her. And if you notice in the Bible, it said that Rachel was beautiful and had a beautiful figure. You see, the thing about women is, I don't know what happened in this Christian community, and I've spoken to a lot of males, a lot of Christian men that have raised this up, and they've said this, that a lot of women in the Christian community don't really take pride in their appearance. And I think we was talking about this in church as well, where it's like, you say you want a guy to pursue you, want a man, you want this, you want that, but you haven't put any effort into your looks. A man looks with his eyes first and then his brain second. And that's not saying you need to wear the fake nails, the fake wigs, the eyelashes, and this, that, the other, but it's saying make an effort, you know, cream your face a little bit, take the crust out your eye, you know, put on nice clothes, you know, do something to show that I'm available, like I'm interested in being pursued, because a man ultimately wants a woman that takes care of herself. And looking good doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. Everyone has a different version of what looks good, but I think the overall standard is good hygiene, doing what you can to improve your appearance and making sure that you're just taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Your spiritual life needs to be top tier, because that's the only thing that gives you fulfillment. So you don't want a man to come into your life and he's taking that place of God in your life. But I digress. As a woman, you're gonna wanna show yourself the type of love that you want from a man. Before a man comes into your life, or even if a man is already in your life, you're gonna wanna show yourself the type of love that you expect from others, because you have to set certain standards for yourself that other people will follow and other people will naturally assume. You can't expect someone to come into your life and show you a certain type of love, a certain type of affection, attention that you never even shown yourself, because you're not even going to be used to that. So when they start showing you that, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm an addict to that. Like, I want more, give me more. Like, no, you need to already set the tone that I expect this, I'm used to this, this is what I require. I require a man to come in and treat me like this. And one of the ways I would say that is, don't deprive yourself of buying yourself nice things, okay? I've recently learned this myself. Don't get it twisted, I'd buy myself stuff, but I never really spent money on myself like that. I was always the type, oh, I'm budgeting, like there's no point in me spending that much, it's not that worth it. But it's not even about the fact that, oh, that's an expensive item. It's more so proving to yourself that I'm worth having money being spent on me, rather than someone else coming to your life and spending all that money on you and this is all new to you. You need to get used to spending on yourself, and that's spending within your means. Let people around you know that this woman likes nice things. This woman knows how to take care of herself. This woman doesn't deprive herself, okay? You know, spending money on your hair, on your nails, or on your facials, taking care of yourself. And that's the second point. Actively engage in self-care. That is hygiene, making sure that you're keeping up to your skincare routines and keeping your hair done, keeping your nails done, keeping yourself presentable. Don't just go outside looking like you just woke up out of bed. Like, I can't lie, I really do hate this whole culture where people walk out in the bonnets. Why are you wearing a headscarf outside? It's a bonnet. Like, prepare yourself for the day, because when the type of woman that you would attain to be and aspire to be, does she walk outside every day with bonnets on her head, looking like she just woke up outside of bed? Like, a bonnet is not a flipping stylish item. Like, a bonnet is just, like, I can't lie, I really do hate that culture. Why are you going outside in a bonnet? And then you want a guy to take you serious. Like, I've heard guys numerous times ask, like, why are they wearing this bonnet on their head going outside? Like, it's not cute. If anything, it just looks lazy. You know, you don't want to just go outside and just look lazy, because I always say, yeah, I always dress appropriately and dress in a certain type of way, because you never know what can happen to you when you step outside. You never know who you're going to meet when you step outside. You don't know who you're going to encounter when you step outside, okay? You could meet the love of your life when you step outside. You just never know. You know, you see those memes going around saying, oh, every time I look good, no one sees me. But every time I don't want to be seen, that's when everyone sees me. Because you just never know when you're going to meet someone that piques your interest. 3, keep your brain active, whether that be reading, crossword puzzles, research, document. Keep your mind active, whether that be the news, whether that be something to stimulate your mind, okay? Keep your mind active. You don't want to just be ditzy. You don't want to just be someone that doesn't have anything in their head. Keep your mind active. That could be engaging in your passion, okay? Have a passion. Have something for yourself, okay? And I'm not talking about, God is the center of everything, but I'm not talking about God, because a lot of Christians make their faith their whole personality. Like, my guy, God gave you other attributes, okay? If you don't know your attributes, just say that. Don't be making that whole Christianity your whole personality. Like, there's nothing else to you. It's just Christianity. It's just the Bible. Like, do you have anything else? Did God give you anything else inside of you that might pique my interest? Like, please, I see so much Christians just making their faith their personality. Like, if you're boring, just say that. Like, have a passion, okay? God, I believe God has given everyone a passion. And your passion could also be your faith, 100%. But like, do you have any hobbies? Do you have any hobbies that you like to do? You know, do you like painting? Do you like reading? Do you like researching? Do you like playing certain type of games? Do you like, I don't like everyone has different hobbies. One of my passions is YouTube. I love doing YouTube. One of my other passions is I like self-care. I like to do things for myself. Another passion is flipping shopping. I'll be honest, shopping is my passion, but I shop for different things. I could shop for futuristic things that I'm never going to buy right now, but I like to do research into things. I like to research into inspiration. Like, I have a multitude of passions. I like fashion. I like multiple things. Like, you have to have a passion. Do you like pottery, or I don't know, do you like rock climbing, running, fitness? What is your passion? You need something for yourself that has nothing to do with anyone else, doesn't have anything to do with a man, but it's for yourself. That you have that for yourself. Is it Pilates? Is it, what is it? Is it a class? Is it this? What is it? Do you like going to seminars? Do you like going to art galleries? Like, what do you like to do for yourself? You need to have your own thing going on before a man comes into your life. You need your own thing. You need your own thing. You don't want to just have a man come into your life and he just becomes your life. You need your own thing. That when a man comes into your life, he can see, oh, she's got her own thing going on. And he could admire that about you. You need to have something that people can admire about you. You know, you don't just want to be a boring open book that you have nothing going on. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing these things and you're Jack Jones by yourself. Have something for yourself, okay? I'm a firm believer in that. Have something for yourself. And also take pride in how you look. You don't have to dress based on your what's in your bank account. You really don't. Just because you don't have a lot of money, it doesn't mean you have to look like you don't have a lot of money. You don't. You can actually dress how you want to dress despite what other people think, okay? I think I started learning that recently. Change up your style. Try new things. Do nice things for yourself. And show the outer world that I take care of myself, that I believe in myself, that I know that I'm worth this. You need to look like a woman of worth. You know, that way you attract a certain caliber of men. And we're not talking about rich men, we're talking about men that are able to meet your standards. One of the things, yeah, that I get a lot of men based off of the way I dress, talk and act is, oh, you're bougie. And at first I used to think I'm actually not. Like, honestly, I take TGIs over gauchos any day. But then I realized it's not necessarily an insult. It's more like the way you carry yourself, the way you dress shows that you're kind of like high maintenance, high class. And in my head, I'm thinking I'm really not. When you get to know me, I'm really like, listen, I ain't nothing like that. Like, honestly, I cannot be asked. But it's just the way I carry myself gives off a certain perception. And I'm not mad at that, because I don't do it intentionally, but it's like when you adjust your mindset to who you want to be and who you want to be perceived as, naturally you'll give off that aura and people will treat you accordingly. Like, even you watching me now, you're probably looking at me thinking, oh my gosh, like, she seems so confident, this, that, the other. It's just the way I project myself onto you. But naturally, you don't know what's going on in my head. But because I've decided that I want to be perceived like this, I want to be taken serious. When a man comes into my life, he knows he has to be serious or he has to get out. So I give off that aura. And that's the aura you're going to want to give off when a man is coming into your life. Even if there's already a man in your life, you're going to want to let them know from the get-go that you got to treat me serious, that I am not one of them. That when you encounter me, you encounter a different caliber of woman. I'm not saying a better caliber of woman, a different caliber of woman. You need to recognize how you're different. Listen, Rachel knew her stuff, okay? She was beautiful, had a nice figure. She was keeping that box tight. And look, Jacob came along. You see, when a man comes along, he will look at you and he will assess you. You don't necessarily need to say anything. If anything, men watch you before they speak to you. And you may not even know when they watch you. That could be, they could be watching you for 5 seconds. They could be watching you for 5 days. They could be watching you for 5 weeks, months, years. But they've watched you before they've decided to come and talk to you. And so you need to set that certain level of saying no if what they're suggesting doesn't meet your requirements, okay? If a guy's trying to even hint at 50-50, immediately no. I don't do that 50-50, and I'm not afraid to say it. A lot of us are afraid to set our standards with men because we're scared that they're going to reject us because we like them. Listen, it doesn't matter if I like you. If you don't meet my standards, I'm instantly going to say no. Because what type of woman would I be if I allow my standards to be lowered based on every guy that comes into my life? Like, it doesn't make sense. I can't lower my standards just because you don't want to meet them. I have to acknowledge, okay, you don't want to meet them, that's fine. You see, when a certain guy comes into your life, he will do things for you because he wants to do them, because he's prompted by God to do them, because he wants to just do it. Like, you don't have to mention it. If you have to constantly question where you are with a man or where you're going, then you need to have an honest conversation with him and let him know that, listen, I don't like where we're at. This is not what I want, and this is the certain requirements I have. Like, yeah, I do want to be taken out this amount of times. I do expect this. I do like this to happen as well. And you suggest what you like. You don't say it in a way like you're trying to bully them. Okay, you don't want to come across as an angry black woman. I flipping hate that stereotype. Okay, we're just passionate, but you want to let them know what you expect, because sometimes maybe they're used to treating women a certain type of way, but they don't know that when they encounter you, they have to level up, and that's fine to let them know that. But ultimately, a man will take you serious because he wants to, not because you're telling him to. So if you continue find yourself verbalizing what you want with a man, then ultimately you need to question, is this the right man for me? Is he taking me serious? A man is meant to work for you. A man is meant to come into your life, and he's meant to put in that work to obtain you. He shouldn't be able to take you out on like 3 straight dates and instantly you're falling for him. You should make him work a little longer. I can't lie, I'm a firm believer in letting a man work for you. Letting him say that, you know what, I didn't bag this one that easy. I had to work for it, I had to put in work. Because you know how serious a man is about you. You know how much a man actually is interested in you based off of how much he pursues you, how far he's willing to go to obtain you, how much work he's willing to put in. I like to observe a man, because the only time that I will ever trust a man and fully give myself to a man, and when I say give myself, I mean every single dimension. Now we already let me just put a disclaimer, wait until marriage over here. So when I say give him everything, not the box not the box, but I mean other dimensions of myself, every version of lakeishaa. The only way I'll ever do that is when I truly believe in my heart is that you will do anything for me. That is the only way I will ever give myself to a man. I will never give myself to a man fully, never commit to a man unless I'm truly convinced that you will do anything for me, meaning that you will die for me. You will go to heaven and hell, you'll go back, or you'll go to the moon for me, that you will do anything for me, that you'll work 10 jobs for me. Then I am sure that you want me. Because when it came to Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, and guess what he got in the 7 years? He didn't get her. He got Leah, mate. Was it Leah? He got Leah. Then he said, you know what? Cool, I'm going to work another 7 years. Because even though maybe I worked and it didn't pay off and it's not working and I'm getting hit left, right and centre and things are happening along the 7 years, I'm getting cheated, this, that and the other, and I still didn't get her, I'm going to still pursue her because I'm adamant that I want what I want. Men take what they want. They don't take no for an answer, okay? When you got the man that wants you, he will do whatever it takes to obtain you. Doesn't matter. Men are natural pursuers. Jacob chased Rachel, took her by force. He said, I don't care if it takes 100 years. He proved that he would do anything for her. He would work 14 years, toiling the ground, blood and sweat just to get her. And until a man proves to me that you're willing to go that length to obtain me, me no want it. Me no want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm going by biblical principles. You gotta work for me. You gotta work for me. You gotta work for me and show me that. Show me how much you want me. And only then will I accept you. Because let me tell you something. Men will come into your life and speak so much and say, I want you, I want you, I want this and that. But what have you done to show me that you want me? Or are you just speaking? You know, I don't like a man that speaks. I like a man that shows me. Because I don't believe in words. Words can be fake. Anyone can say anything. But I believe a man that does. A man of action is a man that will win my heart. And I believe that a lot of women should attain this mindset that allow a man to show you physically what he's willing to do to obtain you. And don't feel guilty. Watch a man, observe him, see certain personality traits in him, observe him. Is this the type of man that I want? Is this the type of man I want to have a family with? Because as much as a man is choosing you, you are also choosing a man, okay? You're choosing to accept a man. They're choosing to chase after you and you're choosing whether you're accepting that. But let him chase you for a little bit longer. Because honestly, a man loves the chase. You're going to want a man to chase you. And even when he finally does obtain you, let him keep chasing you. Let him keep obtaining you. Let him keep encountering new dimensions of you. A man knows what he wants and he knows when he wants you. So when he meets you, he already knows what he's willing to do to obtain you. A man already knows whether he's willing to do anything to obtain you, okay? And that's one thing that I've learned as well. I've dated a fair amount of men to know that when men are serious, they're willing to do anything for you. When men have certain standards for themselves as well. You've got certain men that they do not allow women to pay for anything. Like I remember my ex, I had to fight him just to let me pay, and he would not let me pay for anything. Like, he wouldn't let me pay because in his mind, his role was to take care of a woman. Like, I will look after you. Like, he would not let me pay for anything. That was actually a couple of guys I know. They would not let me pay for anything. Then you have other guys where they will not allow you to assume male gender roles. Like, you're not going to be opening the door for yourself. You're not going to be walking first or assuming authority. I'm taking that role. Like, I'm assuming authority in every situation. And I can't lie, I'm the type of woman where I like a man that is very, very dominant. Very dominant. I like to be in my feminine role, my female role. I like to feel like a female where I'm just taking care of, you know, princess treatment. Like, I like all that. Every woman's different. Some women like different things. I like that. I like to feel as though I'm being taken care of. And that's not just financially. That's like physically, emotionally, mentally, where a man can actually take care of me. And until I can see that in a man, I will never give myself to him fully, because a man needs to pursue a woman, and a woman needs to allow a man to pursue him. Allow a man to prove himself to you. Don't lower your standards. If you expect a man to take you out 2 times a week, 2 times a month, keep to that standard. And I always say, fall back on the Bible. Make sure that whatever standards you're keeping when it comes to relationships, make sure you've got scriptures to back that up. Make sure you've got a backing, because my story that I run with till the end of the earth is Jacob and Rachel, okay? Because when you ask me where I have certain standards in dating, are you willing to work 14 years for me? Are you willing to work 14 years for me? Because if you're not, then I'm sorry, babes, this ain't gonna happen. Yeah, I need a man that's persistent, a man that's gonna toil the ground for me, a man that's gonna work his ass off for me. I need a man that's willing to put in that work, okay? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Allowing him, I don't believe that a woman has to prove herself to a man. A woman should naturally carry herself in a certain type of way that lets a man know that he has to take her serious. It's a woman's job to carry herself in a certain type of way where she lets a man know, you have to take me serious, you have to come correct when you come into my life. And you don't falter in that. And a man will have to take you serious. You know, you're going to want to make sure that you're working on your mental state, making sure that you're not projecting your past problems or relationships onto him. Going to make sure that you're healthy. Make sure you're looking after yourself. Make sure that you're actually ready to be pursued, okay? Making sure that you're looking after yourself financially. Making sure you're looking after yourself emotionally, physically. Making sure you have stuff of your own. That when a man comes, it's a bonus. But don't ever allow a man to become your life or to become your goal. And if you feel like that's happening, you need to take a step back. Gather yourself together, because a relationship, a marriage would only prosper if 2 whole people come together as one. You don't come together as halves and become one, because then you become codependent and it's long, okay? You come together as whole, 2 whole people that are flourishing in God, and you come together and become one, okay? You're going to want to make sure that your spiritual life is intact, okay? You got to make sure that God is your number one, that you're striving to have a better relationship with God every day. So when a man comes and he's ready to pursue you and treat you, actually work and prove himself to you, that's a bonus. That's like, oh, okay, thank you, God. You're actually bringing a man that's worthy of me. But you shouldn't feel guilty about that, because now in this generation, men are making women feel guilty for having standards. Like, oh, you want this and that. Yeah, I do want this and that, because I deserve this and that, because it's the biblical way for a man to pursue a woman. And in this generation, it's almost like taboo to talk about, or it's frowned upon to allow a woman to pursue a man. It's almost like men want women to pursue them. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I don't believe in that. I was not raised like that. I was raised with a father who took care of me. So I expect a man to also do the same. So don't ever feel guilty because you want a man to work for you and to pursue you. Okay, there's only a few of us ladies left that are actually in our gender roles. Okay, so don't feel guilty. Set your standards, allow a man to work for you, earn you, and enjoy it. You know, just because you're getting to that age where you feel like, oh my gosh, I need to be engaged, I need to be married, that's not an excuse to give yourself to a man quickly or to rush things. Take your time, okay? Even if you still have things to work through, a man who can see you as his future wife will work with you through things. A man will lay his life down for you, because the Bible says to husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Do you know what that is? That is unconditional love. Do you know how God loved Israel? How God loved the church unconditionally. Even when we forsaked him, even when we went against him, he'd still love us and bring us back and show us mercy. That is the requirement for men. Okay? Love your wife as Christ loved the church. And women, submit to your husband. How can you submit to a man that doesn't love you as Christ loved the church? Make it make sense. Come on, make it make sense. How can I submit to you when you haven't loved me as Christ loved the church? It's a two-way part, babes. It's a two-way part, babes. Okay? That is my scripture. Okay? When a man shows that he loves you as Christ loved the church, submit to the man. And that's only when you become husband and wife. For life, bros. But thank you for watching today's video. If you liked this video, please like, comment down below your thoughts, what part you agreed with. If you got this far, like this video, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you never miss an upload. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.